Hey everyone, Rick here, and it is time for another Dwarven Forge unboxing. This time we are delving into the Catacombs. Alright folks, this is the label for the Catacombs set, again with the resin Dwarven Forge sets. They are packed in styrofoam inside of a cardboard box with a label generally. On the outside, full color, giving you an idea of everything that is included in the set. And I have to say, when I saw that Dwarven Forge was having a resin restock, this was the set that made me decide to go add all of this to my shopping cart. That's right, it was the Catacombs, because this is my first adventure into the gorgeous Catacombs resin Dwarven Forge sets. Alright, so I am super excited about this. Now, starting off, as always, the instruction sheet. I definitely, especially if you just get into the resin sets for the first time, read that top letter from Stefan. It is a fantastic introduction to Dwarven Forge. Little checklist at the bottom, and then the styrofoam tray that keeps the resin sets protected. Little lid there. Take that off, and then boom. Are you kidding me? Here we go. Let's take a closer look at everything included. So this Catacombs set has a ton of pieces. Let's just take a quick peek at one piece, and then I will leave the rest of the unbagging off camera. Again, these are the resin pieces. They're not Dwarvenite, but just even a basic floor tile here, folks, looks fantastic, especially in this Catacombs theme where there are going to be skulls everywhere. You can see embedded into the floors of the catacombs all of the skulls. And then around the outside edge just looks like more stonework. And of course the bottoms of the resin sets are all lined in this soft felt-like material. And that is one floor piece. We have a lot more to go. Let me unbaggy all of this stuff and take a closer look. Alright folks, here it is. Catacombs Set 1 Resin Set from Dwarven Forge. Look at how many pieces you get. One of the things that stands out to me right away is just the sheer number of freestanding walls. It's fantastic, the flexibility. This was one of the more recent sets. Of course, it's been years since this was originally introduced, but still in their resin line, the Catacombs theme of sets is among the more recent resin offerings. So they definitely were able to do some more unique things in this set. But just look at the sculpts. We are going to go through these piece by piece because of how utterly gorgeous they are. All right, so here we go. First of all, I do also want to say, taking these YouTube videos, it is just my way of being able to shout from the rooftops how awesome the Dwarven Forge resin sets are, because there's so much on YouTube about the Dwarvenite line, and rightfully so. I've done my share of those as well, but the resin sets need some love too. Now, to be fair, the Catacombs line of sets definitely has a few more, maybe, YouTube videos out there about them than some of the older resin sets. But just look at the detail that the resin, the polystone resin, is able to capture. And you can almost make out what could very well be some skulls in the back of this, but you can see just the cracked catacomb walls of this curved wall piece, of which you get 4 that have a floor attached to them, because there are freestanding curved walls as well. Skulls in the floor, these skeletons up in the alcoves. The detail work along the interior of the walls, the stonework, the little archways, the little alcovey nooks, just the depth of, stones here and then even further back along the wall. Each one of these resin pieces is a work of art. Here is one of the two different kinds of straight walls. So your basic 2x2 sections is what we're looking at right now. Old school classic Dwarven Forge, the 2-inch by 2-inch pieces with the 1-inch grid clearly defined. But these catacomb walls are everything. Look at the chipped away old crypt floors, the skeletal bodies piled up on the shelves in the catacombs. It is just gorgeous stonework all the way around the entire thing, and then boom, just a wall of skulls. How many lives, how many bodies could you identify down here? Of course, the felt on the bottom of the resin pieces, so that's one of the two. Here's the other one. And this is just, an arched alcove just full of skulls. Skulls piled up on the floor, in the floor, on the back of the wall. I just love the deep cracks, just showing how ancient these catacombs probably are. So that was the two different kinds of straight walls. Now there's some freestanding walls, and I will show you that there are two different kinds of those as well. A wider one and then a narrower one, both of which have the skeletal bodies on shelves piled up, that gritty stonework all the way around top. And on these, there is no felt. You can use these to stack up and just have a complete shelf going all the way up to the ceiling with bodies. And as you may have seen, on the edge of the wider wall, there are these nooks, some of which do have skulls embedded into them. The narrower wall does not. The back of both walls, though, yes, absolutely is just covered in skulls. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. So the wider freestanding wall is the same width as the typical wall piece. And as a matter of fact, it is the same. Of course, it would be the same width as a floor piece, with just enough room for another wall to be like standing behind it. So that is the same measurements. Of course, they're so good at keeping everything on that grid, so it's no surprise that you can use pieces in different ways to make that happen. Again with the curved wall, because here is the curved freestanding wall, and you can use that completely by itself on a floor piece and have more curved floors, or you could, as you've probably seen in some of their example videos, stack them up and really give some, huge dimension, just visual appeal to your layout. This freestanding curve wall does not have anything in the alcoves, but along the back, again, deep cuts, carved cracks, and skulls, of course. All right, floors. There is, as far as I can see, just one style of floor. So here we go, the 2x2. You can see the skulls in the floor, 1-inch grid, stonework all around it, felt on the bottom. You get, and I'm sorry, I should be mentioning this, how many of each piece. You get 10 of these floor sections. As you can see, you get 4 of the wide standing walls, 4 of the narrow, 4 freestanding curves, 8 total straight walls, 4 total curved walls. And then we get into some of these. Oh yeah, 4 of these columns, 4 of these skull pillars, cracked stone bases just lined with skulls, felt on the bottom. 2 of these skull piles, which are just awesome, felt also on the bottom of those. 1 of these, a little ruins pile. You can see some of that wall work. For example, here, the curved wall, so that was like a beam or whatever from a wall that had fallen, felt on the bottom of this, but you can see that architecture. You can see the bones and skulls lying in this pile of stones. So it's just a nice debris piece. And then you get 2 of these archway walls. There are no doors in this pack, but you do get these archways. Again, skulls in the floor, skull at the top of the arch, skulls on the other side. So it's a nice piece there that I love when they do these purple accent where it just looks so macabre. And then, yes, of course, I saved the best piece for last. You get 4 of these. 4 of these 90-degree right angle corners, 2x2 with, oh yeah, there's electronics here, folks. Because as you can see, with the flip of the switch, flickering LED. Oh yeah. Just look at that glow. Can you imagine having several of these going? Turn the lights down and see the catacombs illuminated by this flickering flame. Skullwork, of course, as always, all the way around the entire thing. These pieces are just absolutely gorgeous. 4 of those, and that is every piece you get in Catacombs. Let me take a break, put a little sample setup together, and I'll be back with you in a few. All right, folks, here is the entire Caverns 1 set used in just a quick thrown together scenario. I am in love with the flexibility of these pieces. If you want to add some height, doesn't that just look fantastic? Or if you want to do something where, you know, just a room is kind of divided up a little bit more, pop a wall in there. The flickering torches look glorious. I just love the shelves and shelves of corpses. This just, everywhere you look is a body part. And as you can see, just a 28 millimeter figure looks absolutely fantastic there in the catacombs. Does that not look so wonderful? And as you can clearly see, this is quite a bit of real estate for one single set. Absolutely love that you can do all of this. I just did a little entryway over there, flanked by some torches. And this is a decent amount for one set. Of course, if you want a much larger catacomb setup, you're going to want more than one set. Right now, at least on the resin restock, when I ordered them, it was a limit of 2 per person. So that is why I maxed out with that. But as you can see, a fantastic amount for one single set. And what do you think Catacombs 2 adds to that? Stay tuned. That'll be in another video. But thank you all so much for watching. This has been Catacombs Resin from Dwarven Forge. Treat yourself, folks, to the luxury of a Dwarven Forge resin set today. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time.